on in the world. So apparently the government people, they're getting ready to make this big old meeting and everything. You know, hmm, I wonder why they're getting ready to do this meeting. Especially if they only have three strikes left, which means three plagues remaining. I did a little bit more research and digging into, the prophets, what the prophet said on the YouTube channel and stuff. At first, I didn't believe a word she said, but when I saw that sign, that rainbow slash looking thing in the sky during that video, when I was making that video, bro, I was convinced. That's why I even took any time at all to go look into it. And so I took a look into it and I found out that, like I've been telling you guys, it's part of the 10 plagues that's in Egypt's time back when Moses walked the earth. And I did even more digging. So, I mean, if you Google it real quick, you can look at all 10 of the plagues. We have seen every bit of it all the way up to the fire. Oh, no, we've seen every bit of it. Yeah, up to the hail, snow, and the fire all over the world. You can look these things up, guys. It's not a joke at all. I mean, if you want to think I'm crazy because I've talked to you in a passionate way, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I found my child spirit. I don't know about you guys, but definitely have mine. You can call me crazy all you want, but that's your book, not mine. You'll be judged in front of God for what you judge people for, not me. But anyway, once again, there was fire all over the place. There was a point in time that you can look up. You can look up how many fires are going on in the world, and it was literally on fire all over the place. And then after that had happened, somehow, some way, magically, it just snowed all over the place and hailed everywhere. Just like, I don't know, the seventh plague of Egypt? Hmm. You know, I'd hate to be the one that's preparing everybody just because of the fact that I am not perfect. And because of my crazy background and who I am and all this other junk that people could judge me for, it makes it hard to believe that story. And I guess there's a lot of people that are not doing the research to figure this crap out. But, I mean, those of you that are of science that think that God don't exist, I'm talking to you guys. I'm making a beautiful video for you guys. Just a recap, man. That's it. Just so you can be prepared. So, the eighth plague that's going to be coming is obviously going to be the locusts with the scorpion tails. How they're going to come about in the world, I have no idea. But this video Casper Site has on his channel with this meteor rock thing that came from space, I cover that on my channel as well. And some black venom looking thing came out of it after he put a leaf on it. And it just grew and grew and grew every time he put it in the light. And then at the end of the process of him playing with this thing, it was alive, swimming in water, and every piece of it that he had cut off of this thing, he had sent to labs, and they never contacted him again. But apparently at some point they informed people about it or something, and they're all growing at the same pace. I don't know if they're going to turn into the things you saw on The Simpsons, or if they're going to be just like the old days, back in the old times. I mean, we do got a lot of really new cool toys these days, guys. I mean, really think about that. I don't know what these things are going to look like. I ain't been told that, guys. But what I was told and showed through social media, just randomly popping up on when I was looking on YouTube, I click on this stuff because I get a weird feeling in my gut, and Lord and behold, I start reading the Bible just a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like right after Charlie Kirk's death, I get like this voice in my head. So The only person that I can say that this voice is even coming from would have to be Jesus or his messenger that he sent to me to prepare everybody. That's all I can tell you. I don't know. I'm nobody special, dude. I'm not. I'm just a speck of sand in God's ocean, bro. 100%. I don't know. I don't know no. I don't know how to build rockets. I don't know how to put an engine together. I mean, if you put me in front of one, I might be able to figure it out after a while, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things I can do, like farm and blah, 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 etc. But, you know, hey, there's a lot of stuff you can do right now while we have social media that whether you have a piece of paper that says you can do it or not, you follow a video, you can do it. Oh, so you're calling me names and you're judging me again. Three last strikes or plagues to come. Think about it. There was ice and fire all over the world. That's the seventh plague of Egypt. Come on, dude. I mean, if you do your research and you go back in time and you look at this stuff up, you'll definitely see the facts in it. I'm not going to sit here and waste my breath on something like this. If I was being talked to by something evil, I don't think my family would be here because what does the devil do? Steal, kill, and destroy. I've done nothing but prepare you out of love. Okay? I don't have no reason to lead you astray. I'm not telling you to board up your windows and everything right now. I mean, the 3 days of darkness is not the next plague. The next plague is those locust things. And The Simpsons just came up with a new episode about that. So, I don't care what you say. Every one of you that's seen The Simpsons, they've been predicting everything. Religious cult? No, that's not what it is. But I love you anyway, brother. I don't know what's all coming, man. I just know what I've been told to tell you guys. And I know that that prophet that's warning you about the 3 days of darkness is warning you about it early. Really early, apparently. So, because I went and did the research myself. Because I was really curious about it. Because I saw some weird things when I made that video about her. I was praying to God. I was praying to Jesus. Please let this woman be telling me the truth. Don't let me put something on this channel that's going to make me look like a crazy person. That's what I basically said. And then as soon as I said that and I looked up, there was this crazy rainbow thing that went in the sky with a giant comet right behind it. And I was like, what? And you can go back to that video and listen to it. You're going to have to like enhance the sound or whatever because I'm like, I left my video inside of the car while I was recording it with the X recorder, and then I was standing by the door outside of the car, outside, and I was looking up in the sky, and that's what I saw, man. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I've never seen a rainbow look like that. That was insane. So because I saw that, that's why I started doing this digging. That's why I started looking. And now I'm full-fledged, reading the Bible to people and all kinds of stuff. So I don't care what you want to believe. The proof is right in front of you. You can deny it if you want to. If you're too lazy to look it up and you just want to call me names, that's on you. That's your judgment. When you go up there and you get pulled to heaven and you have to walk up them steps and God finally, you get closer and closer to God, hearing him say, away from me, I never knew you, throwing you into the black hole. Don't say I didn't warn you. Like, seriously. So yeah, the next plague is supposed to be those scorpion-tailed locust things, then the 3 days of darkness, and then you got the death of the firstborn. I wonder why all of these government officials are trying to get into a meeting. They're trying to figure something out. What are they going to talk about? How are we going to keep control of all these people? I mean, God only has 3 strikes left for us. Huh? What are we going to do to make him Give us some mercy here. Slow this process down a notch. I like ruling this planet. I like taking advantage of people. I like stealing their money. I like keeping them in fear and forcefully. Yeah. That's how your government thinks. And you're crazy if you think they don't. Everybody's in war all over the place right now. Everybody's fighting over BS. Like, all you got to do is go on social media and look it up a little bit. That's all you got to do. I mean, why would I sit here and waste my breath? I'm telling you to go research it. You don't believe me? Go look. It's all over the internet. I mean, Charlie Kirk's wife was just caught making this sign right here. Why don't you go look up that symbol and why don't you go look up this symbol and find out what it means? I never thought that, I don't know if they tricked her into doing that or if she really did give in. I don't know. I don't know. And I haven't really asked about it because I really don't want to know. That is so stupidly evil. And this other dude just figured out from the movie Snake Eyes, it's literally an exact replica copy of Charlie Kirk's death. Literally. I didn't even know that. The only thing that you probably didn't know is that if you go to Charlie Kirk's videos, there's one video that you can watch where he's in like an interview or whatever. He speaks his death into existence. And apparently, from what I researched in witchcraft, they use that. And the only way it could be okayed by God is if it was glorious to the kingdom. So that's why God okayed it. Because remember, in the story of Job, the Bible tells you that the devil has to go before God to get permission to test your faith. Don't forget that. That's 100% true. Go look that up too. So that kind of tells me that the devil has a job to do just as much as the angels in heaven. I wouldn't necessarily call this a game between the two of them, because from what I read in these Bibles, it says that God loves us dearly. And the story of the devil is that he wanted to be like the Most High. So he got kicked out of heaven, and with the 1/3 of the angels that he had, I guess, befriended or whatever, and that became his kingdom down here. So yeah, I figured all that out in a day just from reading a couple pages of a child's Bible. Play with it. The Holy Spirit's real, people. From what the prophet has said, the way that you're going to prepare for the 3 days of darkness, that's going to be the final test. Last I checked, Jesus has already been here once. So this next rapture is going to be the actual rapture. I ain't going to give you no date because I have not been told anything of such. There is nobody on this earth that's going to know that information. Only the Father knows that. Literally. If he let somebody else know that down here, they'd be sharing it on social media like crazy so they could become famous and end up on some pedestal or some crap. Like, I don't care about being famous. I'm here to care about your souls. I don't want to see y'all get thrown into the black hole that ends up in hell where you're going to burn and suffer the rest of your life for about 1,000 years. And I guess there's like some great reset that happens. I'm not sure how it happens, but according to the Bible, that's what it says. So I don't know if I don't know if we actually stay in hell forever. I mean, like I said, I've never read the Bible to the fullest extent. I'm still reading. So, and as I read, like, secrets are being revealed to me. So, but again, back to the topic. So the 3 days of darkness, the prophet has said that you need to board up your windows, you need to collect some white scented candles, or no, white non-scented candles, because the smell of the aroma from those candles can attract the demons that are running around on the earth, that are looking for whom they can devour. A good movie that's a real life depiction of this is a movie back in 2010 called Legion. Check that out. If you've seen it already, you know what I'm talking about. Well, believe it or not, I have O negative blood. I'm also considered an Aquarius, and I'm like in the middle of air and water according to that stuff. I only looked it up because some of y'all like wanted to know that. I don't really care about all that stuff. I don't understand some of that stuff. Just like I don't know anything about dark humor. There's every place I've worked at, somebody's had some dark humor, and I'm like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? Oh, it's dark humor. I'm like, what is dark humor? I get laughed at so much. It's not even funny. Because I'm just clueless of so many things. Like, legitimately. That's why I don't understand why was I chosen to prep y'all for something like this? What makes me special? I don't get it. I ain't been a good person all my life. I really haven't. I mean, I ain't done no super duper stupid terrible things, and I've never killed anybody. I would never hurt anybody on purpose or anything like that. I've never been that kind of person. I've always trained myself to be defend my family. That's it. That's all that matters. Somebody comes at me or my family, I'm going to deal with them as quickly as I can so I can get my family to safety. If none of you can't tell me that none of you would do the same. You know what I mean? Oh, my bad. The 3 days of darkness. So you're supposed to have, if you go to the Dollar Tree, there's actually these candles, which is really weird. I was led to this too. I'll show you. Hang on. Here it is right here. Check this out. I don't know if you can see it really well, but it's called Jesus' Sacred Heart. And as soon as I said these words, the Holy Spirit came into my head and said, "Hey, Jacob, do you remember 666 and how the devil wanted to be like the Most High?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And next thing I was told was, well, that's actually what's on this candle. Jesus' Sacred Heart. It's just been covered up to look evil, and it will most likely be the mark of the beast as well. But the real meaning behind it is apparently Jesus' Sacred Heart. And here's what it says. Prayer to Sacred Heart of Jesus. Sacred Heart of Jesus that said, "Ask and it shall be given." I implore you that your love's flame that light up your heart, listen to my prayers, give me the grace I ask from you, and instill upon me your blessings, and with your infinite mercy, make me worthy of your sacred heart. In Jesus' mighty name, it says make your petition or whatever, and then say amen at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I guess because they're trying to stay in general on them. I don't know, but just from reading that, I was told that from the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can call me crazy if you want to, but to me, that literally makes sense after, like, some of the stuff I've read out of just the child's Bible. Like, I don't know, man. I've read a little bit more than what y'all think, like, especially with, if y'all go back to, if you go to the one, I was told to read this one to y'all, and there's a video on my, it's called The Final Letters, and it's the final letters to the church. They're really important. Like, wow. Like, check this out. So remember, hold on, let me see. Which one is it? Even though the devil prowls like a lion, destroy you, stand firm, blah, blah, blah. Hang on. Faith is meaningless unless you do something with it. Take care of the helpless, ask God for wisdom, and keep your lives pure from the muck that surrounds you. Then your prayers will be powerful and change the world. When it says, keep your lives pure from the muck that surrounds you. In Casper Sight's video, he literally mentions biblical information and in his video, and he don't even know it, bro. He didn't even know that he was speaking scripture. It's insane. Like, I noticed it though, as soon as I read these letters, and then I watched this video again about the space rock thing that came down in Panama. Hang on, I'm looking for the one. It was something to do with the rapture here. Hold on. Don't be deceived by those who spread lies to mislead you. They'll get what they deserve when Christ returns. Don't be impatient waiting for Christ. God is taking his time so that people have a chance to repent. That is in one of the letters. Seriously, he's taking his time for y'all, bro. Like, it literally says that the book of 2 Peter. That's 1, 2, 3. I think that's the 4th letter from what I see here. And that's the one that goes, that I guess it refers to rapture. I'm not sure. It just says to what it says. But back to what I was saying previously though with that. So you got to have those white candles. If you go to the Dollar Tree, you can pick up. It's weird too. I did the math on these, and it also equals up to 666, because 6 of these is all it takes to last through an entire night and day of that darkness. And 3 days of that equals what? 666. Blew my mind. I don't know if it blows your mind or not, but I mean, this is a teaching that I ain't never heard before. And after I did the research and the math behind it, you know, it kind of makes sense. You can think about it in the way of, oh man, you could just buy any kind of white candle or whatever, and it could equal up to any number or amount. But when I looked at this stuff, I mean, it's really weird how it's at the Dollar Tree where anybody can afford it. Even a homeless guy on the street, you know what I'm saying, that begs for money could afford all these candles if he needed to. That's Old Testament prophecies? Well, then I think you need to do your real world research and look it up, buddy, and stop calling me out like you know more than me. Just because you got pieces of paper that says you're smarter than me doesn't make you better than me, or make you put you on a pedestal above me, or make you any less equal to me. We both bleed the same blood, buddy. Grow up. This ain't about who knows more than the other person. This is about saving your soul. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Stop trying to put me on a pedestal like I'm trying to take your pedestal away from you. I could care less about your pedestal, bro. You think God's going to give you a pedestal? With a mind like that? Nah, I don't think so. Believe it or not, there's a lot of things in the Old Testament that still apply to today. Like, for example, an eye for an eye. If you do an eye for an eye and you don't let the Lord have his vengeance, guess what? You live by the sword. You're going to die by the sword, son. It says that. And that's happened all throughout history. Don't be blind by the world, my friend. You need to look through heaven's eyes. Not your own worldly view with money and all this fun stuff that you get to be comfortable and whatever with. Because you see what I'm living in, man. And I got a whole family and I'm happy. Okay? I don't care what you say about what I got. I don't care what you say about whatever. Because you know what? Wherever I lay my head is home. According to that Bible. That's how God told me to act. So if you believe in the Bible, I would highly suggest you stand on it and stop calling somebody out before you did your own research. Hey, y'all better be nice to that big old puppy now. You run too fast with him, he gonna knock you down, and then I'm gonna have to check on you and see if you got any boo-boos.
Oh, German Shepherd.
Yeah, I mean it's true. If you love your animals really, if you really do love your animals, they kind of turn out like Clifford. You know, they get real big. I think he's the biggest German Shepherd I've ever seen. Dude, stands like, I don't know, up to my waist.
What happened?
Try to break into my home. Watch that big dog get you.
He,
But don't worry, he's not alone. He's got a brother, and he's a lot more vicious, especially if he's defending his family. But anyway, let's get back to the point. So, I don't have a date on this. God said to look for his signs and wonders. So that means you got to be looking in the sky. This will probably come from NASA's bull crap that they're going to throw at you, acting like aliens are coming and all this other BS. I don't know. There ain't no such thing as aliens, guys. I ain't seen no such thing as aliens. I mean, even the smartest people on the planet were claiming for the longest time that I have seen no signs of life. But you know, even the smartest people on the planet still say that the world would not make sense without a God. Why would they say that? That makes no sense if they don't believe in God, does it? So what it means to me when they say something like that is they know that God exists, but they choose to take their own path. They don't want to submit. They don't want to let God lead their way. That's what's going on. Because they think they're smarter than him. But anyway, back to that. So you need those candles, which I've already told you. It turns out to be, you know, I would probably get a bunch of extra ones just in case, you know, kids end up getting into them and breaking a couple of them or something like that. But I mean, if you go back to Moses' story, they had to light those candles in order to literally, like, they had to have that candle lit. And there was another part to it where they had to put, I think it was the blood of a lamb over their door in order to keep death from, like, coming through and sweeping them all up like a thief in the night. So I haven't got that far yet, but we're getting there in the Action Bible. That was something that was revealed to me through The Prince of Egypt. I watched The Prince of Egypt. That's a really good movie to check out. Check out The Prince of Egypt. That'll give you like a good breakdown of Moses' life, show you what the 10 plagues look like, give you an idea of what God's power looks like. I mean, fire from the skies, waters being split apart. You know, like whoever made that movie, their imagination is amazing, and I'm sure they didn't do it by themselves. But yeah, apparently the prophet said to board up your windows, which prepares you to the extent to where you don't have to you don't have to look. Even if you wanted to look out the windows, you couldn't. You would take that temptation away from yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why the prophet said that, which makes sense because you're not supposed to be looking out there. I mean, you don't want to get devoured or hypnotized, or I don't know what kind of power these things are going to have. I'm just a servant. That's how I put myself. As long as I claim to be a servant, I have no title, and God can use me however he wants. Anybody else that's claiming that they're this and they're that, I don't know, bro. I don't know if they're real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a real servant of God, you're going to literally just be whatever he wants you to be for the time that he needs you to be that, right? I don't know, but I mean, there's only 3 plagues left. We got the locusts, we got the 3 days of darkness, and then we got the death of the firstborn. And all of these government officials are going into like some giant meeting right now. The head honchos. I wonder what they're going to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, since when did they get along? I thought that we were all at war. I thought everybody hated each other. Since when do they care enough about each other to sit in a room together and not slaughter each other? Seriously. And you know, when you say that right there, this world that we know it will end, but a new one will be born. Somebody said that in the comments. I had a thought in another video. I haven't got an answer. I mean, I've asked about 36, I'm not going to lie. I've asked about 60 something times. I have got no answer on that. But what if, you know, the rapture that's coming is to get rid of all those evil people so that us good people can walk and like just claim all their stuff and rebuild. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's how it's going to roll, but maybe the weak ones that aren't going to be able to labor on the earth anymore will be taken with the evil ones to be judged. And those of us that are strong will be left behind so that we can reign for 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? With Jesus. I mean, God is like everything. God is just pure energy. I don't know what else to tell you about that. I mean, there's so many kid testimonies that literally say that God is just like an energy being or something. I mean, I had one vision a long time ago of this old dude with like, I just saw a face though, with an old dude with like fiery eyes. That's I can't even give you the details. I barely remember it. It was a long time ago, and I'm like 33 now, so apparently, you know, that's also when Jesus passed too. I don't know if that has a link to anything, but I was also born with gastroschisis. Any of you that know what that is, it's where you're born with your insides outside. I had to have it all shoved back into me, and they sewed me up, and now I don't have a belly button. Y'all remember that show Kyle XY? That's what I was called all through school. That and big nose, because I got a long nose, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean that's that. And you got, and make sure nobody, oh yeah, and for that when the signs and wonders happen for the 3 days of darkness to come, if it happens the same way that the prophetess is saying it's going to happen, like I said, I didn't believe that at first. I went and did some research myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've been pushing these videos and pushing these videos and pushing these videos, because I looked at everything that's went on in the world. And if you look through social media, the trumpets have blown, locusts have come out, water turned to blood, frogs ended up all over the place, crickets and all kinds of crazy stuff happened, earthquakes and crazy stuff's happened everywhere. I mean, there was fire all over the place. Hail and snow happened everywhere. God said he would protect his people. So I'm assuming that the snow was a loving version for his believers, and the hail was like a teaching version for the people that, you know, needed to be taught a lesson and put back on the right track. But because they're so sucked into the world and the comfort of it, nobody's even noticed. You know, the Bible hasn't changed, but the tools and the weapons have definitely changed. And I promise you, the devil has a lot more tricks in his bag now because of what we have asked God to help us build to make our lives more convenient. And just like the story of Job says, he goes before the devil to ask for permission to test your faith. You ever heard a preacher tell you that at your church? Probably not. Because every time I go to a church, all I hear is, everything's going to be fine. You're all going to be forgiven. We all going to heaven. Yeah, baby. Woo! Everybody's hearing exactly what they want to hear and not the truth. So, I mean, this world's so messed up. I mean, I even got called to go to Lighthouse out here in Panama City. And I exposed them live on this YouTube channel for God. And they literally told me it was okay to film it. If that's not a miracle of God, I don't know what is, bro. They literally said it was okay. I said, oh yeah, you're being recorded. And they said, okay. I was like, all right. And that was right in front of a police officer with his body cam on that was looking at me like he wanted to eat my lunch. Which is probably one of the reasons why I ended up in jail, but I'm not sure. I don't know. When that situation happened outside, after I finished my video with me and my wife outside praying to God and, you know, sitting in the dirt, you know, just sitting in silence and saying prayers. And this dude, Mickey, just comes out. I mean, his dog comes out, starts sniffing us because we're loving. And he could not stand that, boy. He goes off the rails. And then, like, he starts saying, God D this, God D that, God D this, and God D that. And I stood up and I said, bro, stop saying that. Stop it, dude. Come on, man. I've had this conversation with you 4 times. And he's like, I'll do whatever I want to. I talk to anybody however I want to. He's one of those old people that just got his check at 69 years old and thinks that he can talk to you however he wants to because he's old. And then this dude decided to come at me like he was going to hurt me and my wife. So, I'm going to be honest. As soon as he got close enough, you know what I'm saying? I open palm slapped him across the face. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never hit somebody that hard in my life. I'm not the type of person to hurt somebody. But like I said earlier in this video, if I got to defend my family, and I'm put in a situation where I have to defend my family, I'm going to defend my family. So I gave him a warning slap that, you know, my instincts kind of took over, and that just happened. And then he freaks out. His glasses flew off, and he freaks out. And he starts cussing and raving and acting like a crazy person. And he calls the cops. And boy, he's cussing them out like a crazy person, man. I don't even know what to tell y'all. And then when an officer arrived, this officer shows up with his partner, and it's a female officer. And I told him what happened, and he said, did you do something? I said, sir, I can't lie to you. I did slap him out of what I thought was self-defense. That's what I told him. And when he went and took that dude's statement, they didn't really say a word to me other than, you're under arrest for felony and battery. We're taking you in. I was like, okay. I can't fight with you and I can't argue with you. You're the law, right? So that's why I got locked up for 3 days. And then on the way there, God told me, I asked God, how long am I going to be in here? Because I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know why I'm going to jail right now. I mean, all I did was defend me and my family. That was it. And so after that had happened and I got into jail and everything, the voice told me that I was going to be in there for 3 days. And you guys can go look up my blueprint, Jacob Gober. Go look up my picture. Watch me smile, all nice and big and fearless. Because of what God told me. I was only going to be in there for 3 days. I believed it. And I was. I was only in there for 3 days. And I got bailed out by my mama, who hates my guts because I look like my daddy and I sound like my daddy. And she still loves him secretly. And when she sees me, it makes her sick to her stomach because she ain't got over him yet. So that's the story on that part. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If any of you guys know a lawyer of some sort, I mean, you can see how passionate I am about when I talk. If I get up in front of a stand talking like this without a lawyer, I don't know if, I mean, I 100% believe that God's going to provide no matter what. But God also works through his people. So, you know, if y'all know anybody that's a pro bono lawyer or whatever, that'd be amazing. Hook me up. Let me know. Give me some comments in here or what to look up. I'm really not that tech savvy. I only know so far as to how to use YouTube and talk to Google. You know what I mean? I mean, I can type stuff in and like a normal person or whatever, but you know, when it comes to all this law stuff and everything, there's only so much that I know. I'm just a human, and I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. But yeah, that's that story. That's that story. But yeah, I'm sorry guys. I'm not trying to yeah, if something happens, I will end up becoming a felon, yeah. If things don't go the way that it should, you know, when I was in jail, I came up into my first appearance, and the first appearance of that is on YouTube as well. This judge has 3 other people on the side of him telling him how to do his job. Are you serious? I thought the judge was supposed to take the time to look over every individual case, watch all the evidence involved in these cases, and judge them accordingly. But nah, this judge didn't do any of that. He just read this piece of paper and went off what other people told him. I told those people in jail that I was going to speak up. That's why I'm letting you people know what happened in that jail. I watched a man get chained to the floor for 3.5 hours, and they laughed at him. And all he did was he asked, can I please get let go so I can lay down the right way? A lawyer to beat this case. Like, this felony slash, it's a 3rd-degree felony slash battery, apparently. I had a $5,000 bond, which turns into $500. This stream is admissible in court. What does admissible mean? I told you guys, I don't know. What does that word mean, Troy? I mean, I could look it up, but I'm live with y'all right now. If you could do that, that'd be great. But anyway, yeah, I watched this judge change somebody's verdict to a 1st-degree felony for something that I don't really see being a felony from the get-go. I don't understand how they could be judging. Oh, that's Bay County Courthouse, Bay County Jail, by the way, over in Florida. You know, you guys got any way of letting the government know that they're being like that to them people in there? I mean, once you get past pre-processing, where they take your pictures and everything, the guards ain't really that bad inside. The food was good. The people seemed all right. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was comfortable in there. It wasn't a bad time. I had a lot of time to spend with God. It wasn't that bad. I can see why the homeless people want to stay there. For real. But for it to be illegal for people to be homeless, what kind of world do we live in? What? You know, if you're going to be the president, if I was going to be the president, one of the first things I would deal with is the homeless. I would be giving them an apartment or a home, and I'd give them 3 months worth of rent. That way there ain't no excuses. You screw that up, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing I would do is make sure the wages were balanced so that you didn't have to, so that your wife and your children could be in the home and only one of you needed to work. Why is the world, why are we having to, mommy and daddy has to work now and nobody's there to raise our children except for these daycares? Nah, bruh, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Oh yeah, and those of you that think you own your land, yeah, you're still paying property taxes. So nah, you don't own it. And as soon as you stop paying them, they'll take it from you. Wake up, man. We live in a world where the government thinks they're God, and we're just sitting around letting them do it. So I wonder what they could do if everybody decided to just quit their jobs and stop paying their taxes and stop helping them. Because if they live off the taxes, and we just decide to live off we get out of wherever we're at, we just go do whatever we want and not live or abide by their rules anymore, they ain't got enough people to handle us. There ain't no way. That's what God was trying to tell everybody back in the day of Moses. Like, they could have stood up, but instead of standing up and resorting to violence, they let God deal with it. And God did intervene then. Made fire rain down from the heavens. Moses changed a stick to a snake, and the magicians tried to copy that, and they threw snakes out of their sleeves, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then Moses' little staff that turned into a snake ate both of them, showing the Pharaoh that God was more powerful than their God. But still, he would not let their people go. And I don't see that being any different in today. The only difference is you ain't got a whip on your back forcefully telling you, work, 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 faster, or we're going to you. You know what I'm saying? That's all we ain't got going on right now. But they got robots. They got all kinds of stuff that they getting ready to release into public. And you don't think that they're going to use those? They ain't got to do it to you now. They don't have to worry about fighting back if they got a robot to do it for them. If we let that happen, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I mean, we got a chance to stop this. We still got 3 strikes left. 3 strikes. We still got 3 plagues remaining. We got the locust with the scorpion tails, 3 days of darkness, and then the firstborn of the sons. So, why do you think that these government officials are doing their little meeting? They're probably trying to figure out, how can we get God to slow this down a little? I enjoy controlling these people. I enjoy their money. I enjoy putting fear into their hearts so that I can take their money against their will. Well, the government thinks otherwise. They think that you owe them everything. They think that if you don't pay the property taxes on your house, they're going to take your property that you bought and you should own. Huh. And if this AI thing becomes real, like they really let it go, do you think it's not going to go back to the story of Moses and second guess humanity, and instead of seeing the love in us that we're capable of doing, just see us as a virus and get rid of us altogether, just like the Terminator? That's the plot of the Terminator movie, you know, that the AI basically seen us as a virus because the AI is incapable of seeing what love is, and it tries to kill all it tries to take out all humanity. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of story. I like that. Say no to drugs. That's right, kids. Y'all say no to drugs. But if that's a reference trying to say that I do them, nah, I don't. I ain't never done anything that is hard and poisonous to the body. Nor have I ever done mushrooms or any of that other crap. The only thing I've ever done is smoke cigarettes a while back, drink a little bit of wine, and I used to smoke, you know, the green stuff, but I dropped all that. Soon as I woke up and I started hearing that voice, I didn't want to lose it. So, yeah, I enjoy this feeling in here. I enjoy every bit of it. It feels good. It feels real good to be able to open a book that I couldn't understand before and actually see secrets in it that I mean, I never would have saw. Here's another piece of drama for y'all since y'all are still hanging out. So when I went and exposed the Lighthouse Church, right? That last sermon that Brother Cole did, I think he might have watched my YouTube channel or something, because remember I did a video about how, you know, this property is getting auctioned off on 11/4/2025. So yeah, my whole family's going to be homeless and I'm going to be on the streets like a ghost. I'm still going to post for y'all, but you know, I'm going to be out on the streets like a ghost because of the nonsense that's going on. She's got somewhere to go, but I got nowhere to go because, you know, most of my family don't like me. They have a mindset like that preacher did. When I try to tell them what's coming, when I try to warn them what's coming, I try to show them the proof and everything else. Oh, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. I know more than you. Like they keep putting themselves on a pedestal. And like, it's funny too, because while they're doing it, they're backing away from me. Like something's scaring the crap out of them. And it's like, what? That didn't make any sense to me. But I'm going to share something else with y'all that happened in jail. I met this dude. He called himself Abaddon. I looked that up in the Bible. And he seems to believe that he's the key holder that opens the pit. for like the locusts to come out or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. He literally believes that. But this dude acted like a freaking 8-year-old, bro. I don't know if he's like 50 or 60 something years old, but this guy acted like an 8-year-old. Like legit. And last I checked, when we get up into heaven, we are like children. So why would that make any of the ones that got kicked out any different? The fallen angels, they're not called demons. They've been renamed. They were renamed to that, and their original name was the fallen angels because they were kicked out of heaven, right? I mean, bro, I've been doing a lot of research and I wasn't into this crap at all. I was eat up into the world. I was struggling with my bills. I was doing all that stuff. Now I ain't got a job. I just, for some odd reason, everything that happened the way it happened brought me up to where I am now. And I can't explain how all the stuff has happened to me like this. I can't explain to you how my mom that hates my guts paid my bail and got me out of jail. I can't explain to you how a voice told me I was going to get out of jail in 3 days, and then, Lord and behold, I magically got out of jail in 3 days. I got called preacher while I was in there because I cared about everybody that looked like they were in pain. I almost got beat up in jail by this gang that was in there that I don't even remember what they called themselves. But I said, dude, I love you, bro. I'm not trying to start no problems here. All I wanted to say was that this dude is like almost 80 years old in here, and he's like half blind. He didn't mean to touch your stuff. And then he got up all in my face, and all of his little friends got up on me and crowded all around me and like trying to make me back down. But no, I didn't. I held firm to my Bible on my heart, and I was fearless, bro. I didn't care. Every one of them stepped back, and I didn't say a word. But after that, they just backed up and left. That's on camera, in that jail, literally. And I'm not saying that the officer forged my signature, but there were some documents that I refused to sign during my pre-release or during my pre-lockup or whatever, where they put you in the holding room. And I was put in there with about 8 guys. I had them laughing, having a good time. They went from like frowning, oh man, I'm getting locked up. Man, I had these people laughing, having the best time ever. It was, yeah, I don't even know how I was able to do that. I was just happy. I didn't care that I was there. Like, I was fearless. Like, it was something else. Hang on, let me see what's going on with my kids. I'll be right back. What in the world are y'all fighting about now? Why is she crying? What did you do to her? I don't care what you're trying to do. Tell me why your sister's crying. Oh, no. I don't want to hear no because. I want to know what you did to your sister because she's crying. You did something. I want to know. What did you do? I don't want to hear that. No excuses. Tell me what you did. No. What'd I tell you about hurting your sister? You like that phone you like to watch? Because I can take that away from you. And I can take it away from you permanently because it's a material thing. I can snap that phone in half, son. You know what I can't replace is you. I need you to learn. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of me being a dad, is to teach you to be better than me. That's it, man. I need you to get it together. Stop acting like it's okay to hurt your sister. If you got a problem with your sister, you got a mommy and a daddy to come and talk to. Come and talk to us, please. Okay? We love you. And we want you to learn these things. All right? Okay. Now give me a hand. Tell your sister you're sorry. I don't know what you did to him, but say you're sorry to him too. All right. Y'all give each other a hug. Woo! Kids, people, kids. Kids will be kids. Schizomaniac dad. Wow, that's really hurtful, bro. Why would you say that? What is wrong with you? Like, I tell you what, though. I still love you, man, and I'll pray for your heart to be fixed. Because that's really hurtful to say. I love you too, son. Come here. This is my other one. And if you watch that other video, I found out that I have a 14-year-old, and if you want to hear that story, you can go back to that video. It making him wasn't a mistake. What I did was a mistake. But at the same time, God had a plan in it. So I can't really judge that moment in time. If I can find that 14-year-old, I mean, I think I might have found him. I have no way to contact him though. His name is like I think his name is Zachary uh, something. It was crazy, bro. The voice in my head told me this information, and then when I looked this kid up, he looks almost identical to me. So the only thing different with him was that he's got brown eyes. I've got hazel blue eyes. I mean, it's a crazy story. But anyway, where was I? I love all you guys, okay? I don't care what anybody says. You're joking around is awesome. I mean, it's okay. You can't hurt my heart one way or the other. I got what I need in this life. I don't need fame, fortune. I don't need any of that stuff. The only thing that I came here for was to prepare you guys. I mean, if the rapture is just to take the evil people away and then us good people get to stay and rule, that sounds pretty awesome to me. But I haven't read anything or heard anything that confirms that. So I'm still going to have to believe that the rapture is like we're all going to go up there, be judged, and then like I don't know. But what that prophet said makes me think that, because why else would we have a final test of faith? You know what I mean? Like, that makes sense. A final test of faith at the end with the 3 days of darkness, and those of us that make it through that apparently are supposed to be raptured. So I can't give you a date on that. I don't know what date that's supposed to happen. I have no idea. You're too cute, dude. I get told that a lot. I get told that I look like people all the time. I mean, I was never one to do these lives. I was never one to put my face out there in public. I mean, I never really cared what people thought about me throughout life, but I wasn't brave enough to get on here and do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, that should tell you that, like, what I'm telling you, there's got to be some truth to it. I know one thing's for sure. I'm definitely enjoying reading this Last Action Bible. It's a kid Bible. It's been a lot of fun reading this to everybody. We're on part 3. You guys are more than welcome to go back and listen to us read it to everybody. It's been a good time so far. There's been a lot of kids hanging out watching it and stuff like that, and it's a good book for the kids. So I would definitely recommend it. The Last Action Bible. But yeah, once again, I can't give y'all a date on when all this stuff's going down, but the next plague that I was talking about with the locust thing, I think it has something to do with this meteor thing. And if you go back to that, you go back to those Panama videos on TikTok or whatever, or you can go to Casper's site. Tell Casper's site that I sent you. I was told that God wants his heart. So if you guys can try to convince him to watch maybe this video, I don't know, so that he can use his investigative skills to see that I'm right. Maybe he'll go from saying, I want to believe, to, oh my goodness, guys, I believe now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't get paid on YouTube for this. I don't. Honestly, if they offered me money and tried to charge you guys to get this information, that's I wouldn't even accept it. I mean, because I don't need a safety net in my life. I got God. If God is for me, who shall stand against me? Right? I mean, it says that. I believe that dead heartedly. I will go to my grave believing that. And I'm sure I will be pulled home. I mean, am I a little scared and nervous? Sure. I mean, who wouldn't be being told by God to get up in front of millions of people and do what I'm doing? I'm starting to get kind of good at it, but, or used to it, I would say. I don't know if I'm good at it yet or not, but it's been a pretty good time. I mean, telling you guys all this stuff. I mean, there are some of the videos where I kind of left some of the details out because I'm nervous, dude. I ain't never done anything like this before. I mean, you got to cut me some slack. This is my very last video that I've ever done, and I really feel like this is the one that has been probably my best one yet, if I was to judge myself. But anyway, it's been a whole lot of fun talking to you guys, and at least believing in God, not devil worshiper. Voices in the head is not safe. Yeah, well, I hear that a lot. You know, the reason why voices in the head are not safe is that's something they asked me in jail consistently. They're like, "Do you hear voices in your head?" I told that the God told me to say this. Or well, I'm sorry, Jesus told me to say this. He said, "The only voices I hear in my head come from the Bible that I hold right here in my hand." That woman smiled so bright at me, like there was an angel in her or something, like, "Thank God you said it like that." So, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. But the second one that came in there, though, boy, it seemed like she wanted me to say that. She had like this, as soon as I told her that I hadn't been diagnosed with high functioning autism or whatever. When I get really nervous and stuff, like hardcore nervous, I'll rock back and forth like this, and I get really loud and passionate when I talk, and I can't really help it. So I for that last I checked, that those symptoms kind of line up, and she literally got all defensive when I mentioned, like, I wasn't diagnosed with high functioning autism because I can't afford the doctor, but I think I have that because I rock back and forth and what I just told you guys. And she said, "No, no, that could be something else." And she said, "Do you have a degree?" And she was like, she did exactly like everybody else, like, that put themselves on a pedestal because they went to school to get this piece of paper that says they can do something. Last I checked, there was a point in time where you just brought the dude off the street, seen if they knew what they were doing, and then fired them if they didn't. That's how it used to be a long time ago. Last I checked. I don't know why it turned into, now you have to go to school for like 20 years to work on airplanes, or you have to go to school for like 8 years, 7 bachelor degrees. Like, bro, what? Nowadays, you can watch stuff on YouTube and be just as smart as those people. What? You know what I'm saying? Blank, boom, mind blown, right? And nowadays, most people just use AI to falsify their resumes and stuff, to make them the shining star to be chosen first, because AI selects the next person for the job nowadays, because people are too lazy to interact with one another. It seems like this world has gotten so, don't leave your home, stay in your home, it's not even safe to come outside, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. That's what I've been seeing, like, over the years of me watching YouTube and playing video games and all this other stuff. You know, when my mom used to take me to church, she was a different person. And then when my stepdad started that business in logging with Bay Timber and started bringing in a lot of money, she changed. It was beers every day, smoking cigars. I mean, we had horses and four-wheelers and everything that you could basically think of, and or at least they did. Me, on the other hand, most of my life, if my stepdad was home, I was either grounded in my room or at school. And if my stepdad wasn't home, I got to go outside and do stuff. And then by the time he got home, for some reason, my mom would always come outside and scream my name, Jacob, come home! And I'm like, but there's still daylight out. Why? And I never got an answer to that. So, I don't know what to tell y'all. And at the current moment, my mom is still eat up with the world. She handed me $500 and disowned me to pay the Baylor guy. To get me out, that got me, the Baylor guy got me out of jail, forked over the $500. Nobody gave him anything yet. He actually gave his own money up to get me out. And then my mom, who for some odd reason hates my guts, which I think it has something to do with my dad, he wasn't the best person on the planet. He only made like 11 of us. There's like 11 of us running around that I know of from him being like a hardcore player. So, I think that's one story I haven't told you guys yet. And, I don't even know, man. I went through a lot of crap in my life. I'm lucky to even be as sane as I am, to be real. But I don't really believe in luck. I believe in blessings, and I believe in fate. So, I believe that everything is meant to happen the way it's meant to happen, because nothing would make sense if I didn't. And I would have gone insane. Literally. If I didn't believe in God, the things that I have seen recently, yeah, I'd be a crazy person for sure. That's what I think that for real. I'm sorry my lips are dry. I've been talking a while. I apologize. Hang on, let me get me something to wet my whistle. Dr. Pepper, 23 flavors of awesomeness. I'm just kidding. I drink more water than anything else, but yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I really got to tell you. Most of my videos are going to be basically just constant repetition of what's going on as I go through this Bible, and Jesus reveals more things to me, like in like secret meanings from in here. I'll more than happily let you guys know, but to keep y'all from having to go to a previous video, I'll tell you one secret from the beginning of the Bible that I was told as soon as I read it in Adam and Eve's story. Did you know that Adam actually stands for atoms in the science language, is what that was switched to? And what is atoms made out of? Everything in the world. Like, I don't know why I never pieced that together. Maybe because it's just so simple, it just seemed too easy. But when I started reading that book like a child, I don't know, it just came to me. That was pretty cool. I also found out from the voices that, well, not voices, there's just one voice. And it literally sounds like me most of the time. Like, there has been times where I heard a voice that had negative outcomes, but I rebuked that and that went away real quick. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that the devil's not trying to get a hold of me. because if you go back to my last video that's like 4 hours long, you'll hear my testimony about how I almost got like basically taken out by the devil like at least 5 or 6 times. Why, I have no idea. Maybe it had something to do with this purpose. Maybe there's more to my life than meets the eye. I don't know. I've never lived a fancy life. I don't really know what all that's like. I had the toys all around me. I got to enjoy them a little bit as a kid, but I never really got love. That's the biggest thing that was taken from me. I never got a father's or a mother's love. And the only love that I got from my mom was a materialistic love, in the sense of, let me buy you. She would buy me video games. She would buy me toys. She would buy me stuff, and that would just occupy me for a little while, keep me out of her hair. And that's all she kept doing. That's all she ever did. And sometimes she would want to go out to like Econfiner Creek, and I would get invited, and I'd get to ride on the four-wheeler, or I'd get to actually drive the gator or something of that nature with my two brothers. And that was a lot. I mean, I can't say that I didn't have some fun growing up. You know what I mean? But I mean, I got beat. I got sexually abused by my stepdad. I got beat more than anything else. And when I was 16, me and him had a confrontation. I hit him upside the all right, I'll tell you the story. This story I don't like telling too much because it goes back to violence, and I don't care nothing about violence. But I was like in the 12. I was like in wrestling. I came back from wrestling practice, right? And I was at Bozeman, wrestling. And basically, after I got slammed the wrong way, and my back got messed up, and I came home, and there was some new clothes on the bed that my mom bought us, right? And so it was rummaged through, though, because my brother had already gone through it and got all the cool stuff and left me all the nerdy stuff, right? So I went into his room, and I started telling him, I was like, "Hey, man, what's going on here, dude? What'd you take? What did you take?" He died on his video game, jumps over the bed, and goes, like, I grabbed his arm, and I wrapped him up. I hugged him like this, and I said, "You gonna calm down? You gonna calm down?" Somehow, some way, we ended up in the hallway where, like, the grandfather clock was, and this is an old clock. At least it was over 20-something years old, like for real, like a real antique clock. One of those ones that's got those heavy things in it, and the weights and stuff that goes ding 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 ding. You get the drift. Well, he kicked it, busted it all to pieces, and I let him go because I was like, "Oh crap! Now I'm gonna get it." So, because I knew he was gonna go and lie. And as soon as I let him go, he said, "I'm going to go tell Dad." And then he took off out there into the shop. That this ain't no little shop, though. He does logging, and he used to do all the repairs himself. So the biggest thing that we kept repairing was hoses. And back then, they were like $500 a piece. I can't even imagine how much they are now. You know, like the pressure hoses or whatever. Dadgum. But anyway, when he got out there, he started telling his story. I got out there right behind him at some point, and he was like partially through the way of telling his story. And I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, listen, this is what actually happened." So I started telling the story, and then little Ricky tries to throw another punch at me in front of his dad, I guess to look like a big man or whatever. And I did exactly what I did in the room. I wrapped him up. And this time he ended up on the ground, and I said, "You need to stop. You need to stop." And he kept trying. And I said it one more time. "You need to stop." And then this big Ricky picks me up, chunks me halfway across the shop. I landed in like this big old box of like sewage pipe things. You know, those black pipe things? And bro, this is the weird part. All right, so this is where it got really weird. So when I hit this box, my eyes, all I saw was like, y'all ever seen the movie Predator? All I saw was red, bro. Like it looked like red vision. I wasn't in control of my body either. I was led to the welding table. I grabbed the copper welding pipe and I hit this dude upside the head so hard it wrapped around his head twice and chipped this piece of his ear off. And he went wide eyed. It was almost as if it didn't do any damage to him. I was like, that freaked me out after that because then all of a sudden I was back in control of my body. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm dead. The first thing this dude does is grab my hoodie and pulls it over my head and starts trying to hit me in my ribs. So the first thing I did was pull my hoodie in and I put my knee in his groin and I took off running. And that was the day I got kicked out at 16 years old, I do believe. And I was out on the street for a little while. And my mom just okayed all that. She was completely okay with it, which is really sad, but you know, y'all pray for her. Don't wish ill on anybody, you know. That's not right. That means that you're corrupting your heart. You don't want to corrupt your heart. You want to love everybody. You want to see through heaven's eyes, not through the worldly eyes. I wish I could have seen like this way earlier in my life. I'll tell you that. I really do. I wish I could have. Because it's really cool. Like, dude, you see like these little. So when I was in jail, right, I looked in one spot for a little while and I started seeing these little white orb speck things that were like gnat size, right? They were flying everywhere, bro, all over the place. And I was just sitting there looking at them. I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So I started like, I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but I mean, if nobody's in hell right now, that means that everybody that's dead is still here roaming around. You know what I'm saying? Or in purgatory of some sort. I mean, like in chains or something where they can't move around. But I don't know how all that works. I'm not the big man upstairs, and I'm not going to speak for him like that either. So I'm just trying to put the puzzle together on what the freak I saw. I still am in awe of all the things that have happened in such a short period of time. Like, it's like time has literally been irrelevant. So many things happened in like just a week's worth of time that hasn't never happened in my entire life. So, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that was my stories, and I'm sticking to them. That's how I remember them. That's how they happen. Now,
Hello.
why is mommy mad at you?
Because
Because of why?
I'm trying to on the same boat. Y'all wanted to win. While I was trying to go to swim. You got the video yet?
No, I'm not done with the video yet, but I don't see why you shouldn't be comfortable in front of all these people. I mean, at this point, they're family. I mean, everybody that's watching this video is most likely going to end up in heaven with us, so you might as well get used to them. Paul Logan. I love y'all's kind words, though. Thank you so much. You know, I spent all of my life being told that I was never going to amount to nothing. Even my teachers told me this crap. All my life, I was thrown away like a piece of garbage. And now that I don't know if I can consider myself as chosen. I don't know what, but I know the definition of this book says that I'm just a servant. So as long as I stay in that title, I'm not going to ever 100% be a prophet. I'm not going to be a dream watcher. I'm not going to be any of that crazy stuff that all these people claim that they are. You know, it makes more sense to me that if you're a real prophet and God's really talking to you, you're going to call yourself a servant, not a prophet. You know what I'm saying? That makes a whole lot more sense to me because I've been called to do a lot of stuff in a short period of time. Y'all go back on my video, you can see that, not this video, but another video, just repeating myself again. I went out and exposed the Lighthouse Church and their preacher, Brother Cole. In that serum, that dude ended up talking about football and trying to get $20,000 or whatever, which is what I was asking for to try to save this property that's about to be auctioned off that all, like, I don't know, 5 families live on right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to beg people for money. I'm asking for help. Y'all know anybody that's got money? I mean, my Cash App's on there, bro. I will go live with this lady to go pay the bill for this. Seriously. Straight up out of an act of love. I ain't scared no more. Like, literally, the only thing I'm scared of now is not being able to, like, feel this. And, like, be able to understand the word. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can understand how you guys say be careful about hearing voices in your head, but trust me, I've already noticed the difference between the evil one and God's voice. You know what I'm saying? God's voice is going to lead me in a positive direction, and the devil's going to lead me in a negative direction, and I just got to see how it plays out. I even got showed how to bring the evil people out of other people. And all you got to do is tell them, hey, you look nice today. Hey, how are you doing today? I love you. Watch people look at you with the nastiest faces from saying stuff like that to them. I showed my wife that. She freaked out. I was like, yeah, the angel showed me how to do that. I had no idea how to do all that. At first, I was a guy that used to watch the paranormal because previously I believed that watching how the veil was, getting lifted further and further or combining with ours. You remember like 22, 30 years ago or whatever, when you take pictures in the cemetery or whatever, it just little white orbs, right? Well, now you got people in paranormal activity where you see the full-fledged fallen angel that's like there to, test their faith and claim their soul to steal, kill, and destroy. Trying to scare them into like, having a heart attack or something, bro. Like, don't think I ain't seen some of that crap. Because after that video, when I, the prophet I was telling y'all about, I got a video on my channel, God's channel, about that. If you listen at the end of the video, you can hear these weird noises in the back. And I rebuked it in the name of Jesus real quick, boy. I was like, nope, I know what that is. Nope, that ain't happening. This weird voice, bro. Like, it was a weird sound in the background. Something I ain't never heard before in my life at the end of the video. My wife heard it too, so I got witnesses. I wasn't alone. Thank God my kids weren't out there. They were in here with Gamma. Times are hard, guys. The biggest thing that I can tell you right now is if your family is torn apart, get them together. That's why God's being so patient and giving people time to repent and, get ready for all this stuff. I don't know how the rapture is going to happen. I don't care. I trust the Lord to make sure that we're going to be taken care of no matter what. So, yeah. But if there's some rules that we need to follow to survive one of the plagues, I'm going to do that too. Because God said to do it. So, yeah, I'm going to do it. You can call it BS all you want. But there's a magical book called the Bible that tells you that that happened back in Moses' day. So, the proof is there. And from what I understand, I'm I don't know if I'm the first one to be talking about this stuff like this or not, but I feel like I might be the youngest one talking about it like this. I'm 33 years old, guys. 33. The only other people I've been hearing talking about this stuff is like 50 something year olds and 60-year olds. And the one thing that I realized also is that when old people get old, they turn right back into children. I wonder why they do that. Because when we go to heaven, are we not children of God? Right? So a lot of pieces of these puzzles are starting to click together for me as I'm reading more and more of this book right here. And I've also been reading this one that I carry with me at all times, just in case somebody has a question or catches me. It's got all kinds of cool stuff in it. It's got different languages. Man, this thing is dope. I got word against abuse, addicted, afraid, anxiety, away from God, bitter, critical, curious about God, death, depressed, desperate, disaster, discouraged, doubting God, failing, forgiveness, friends fail, future, gambling, guidance, guilt, leaving home, sorrow, grief, lonely, stress, suicide, peace, temptation, trouble, relationships, weary, the the three-letter S word. Let's go with triple X. Worried, sickness and pain. I got abortion, addiction, adultery, adversity, anger, anxiety, bitterness, cheating, death, all that other stuff. There's a bunch more about all this stuff. Depression, dishonesty, doubt, drunkenness, fear, continuous greed, guilt. It's got all of it. And then it's got this too. It says, oh yeah, it's right here. It's the Lord's Prayer, but it's got it in like all different languages. It's got like Africans, Arabic, Armenian, Chinese, Danish, Dutch, English, Finnish. I don't even know what Finnish is. I've never heard of that language before. French, German. I know German. If you turn 666 around into 999, it turns into no, no, no. I wonder why that is. Then we got Greek, Hebrew, Hindi, Icelandic, Italian, Japanese, Korean, dadgum, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Sinhalese, Spanish. Oh, and the Spanish people in jail. I used this one for the Spanish people in jail because I don't know how to speak Spanish. So I told them, hey, I was told to read this to you. And I read that to him. And it touched his heart so much he started crying, bro. I was like, wow, okay. And then it's got Swedish, Tamil, Vietnamese. And that's it. So yeah, I keep this with me at all times just in case somebody has a question. And I literally do this number right here like a real preacher and go, all right, God, show me where I'm going. And I'll stop at a page and then I'll read from that one, from like whatever I have the feeling to read from that page. And somehow, some way, it just relates to them. I don't know what to tell you. You call it magic if you want to. I call it God's power. That's what I call it. I ain't never done nothing like that, man. Why are you saying stuff like that on here? Way earlier in this episode, I literally said that I've never touched any of the hard stuff, brother. So, if you're going to talk like that, you can take your hate somewhere else. But remember, I still love you, brother. But yeah, that's my story. And, if I can, as I fast in these next days or whatever, Um, I seem to be getting a lot smarter and just able to understand the word better. And this voice keeps getting stronger every time I fast. So I don't think I'm crazy because I haven't done ill to anybody since I've been hearing this voice. In fact, I've had people hug my neck more than I've ever had in my entire life. You know what I'm saying? So it feels good to be loved, I tell you that. And it feels really good to have Father tell me I do a good job. That's a love that I never had in my life. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to break down, but that in itself is really hard for me to talk about. But yeah, I've tried to tell y'all everything that I can think of that I've been told that I figured out so far. You know, I've got other things that I talk about on my some of my other videos. I found a video. I made a video that's only like a minute and some time long. It's in the first episode of the new Alien Earth series. Um, there's a part in that episode where they literally talk about turning people into synthetic humans that they can turn your emotions off and on. Huh. And then I just recently seen a video on YouTube that confirms that's what they're on their way to build. So prepare for that, you know. I'm hoping I don't have to be here for that. Um, I'm hoping we all don't have to be there for that. But that's the only thing that the Holy Spirit like made stand out of that whole first episode. And so I was like, okay, I'll record it. And then I just threw it out there, you know? So, like I said, I'm doing the best I can to try to prepare y'all. Everything that I just told y'all about the 3 days of darkness, I mean, The Simpsons just made an episode about that not too long ago. Maybe I came out with this information before they created the episode. I don't know. Don't care. But as long as I can prepare you for what's coming, that's all that I really care about. Because when I get up there into heaven, I can't wait to sit next to God and talk to Him and have conversations with Him like Moses did through that bush. That was such a cool story. Man, I would be so honored to be, even if it was through a bush, like a fiery bush like that, just to be able to have a conversation with him like that. I don't think I would stay like awake for very long. It would be like I would probably feel like I did when I had when I had Catherine. I felt like I was gonna faint. I was like, I saw her popping out, and I was like, oh, I caught myself. Like, and then when they cleaned her all up, you know, it was like a whole different story. It was like when she took her first breath, my father instincts kicked in, and it was like there was nothing like it. Nothing like it. My heart said that I ain't never gonna let nothing happen to this baby. I ain't never gonna be a bad person or whatever. But I ended up like not being the best of dads at the beginning of everything because back then I was lost. You know, I was lost in the world. Um, not in the way that um, all these crazy people are doing fentanyl and all this other stuff nowadays. No, I didn't do any of that stuff. I've never touched the N word, never touched the H word, never touched the C word. Um, I don't know whatever else other drugs are out there that are made out of chemicals. I've never tried any of that. But the WEED word, yeah, I've had that before. And I used to smoke cigarettes, and I used to uh, drink wine and alcohol, which was, it definitely affected my mind. After I did a 3 day fast previously, I'm starting to taste food differently. I'm starting to see the world a lot differently. I'm starting to like be able to control this vessel a lot better. Is the best way I can describe it. Like the addictions and stuff for that stuff, like I don't even crave it anymore. Like it just went away. It was hard to fight through it for those 3 days and just drinking water. I am not gonna lie to y'all, that was hard. That was the first time I ever actually fasted, and I went 3 days, and I did it, and it was not easy. And then I watched this video that I posted on my YouTube recently about this guy and his health and how you can eat certain things to stay healthy and all this other stuff, and how he explains that fasting can help you, and like it causes your body to release like natural healing. What I guess I would call it in a scientific term is your body releases ketones, which are considered to be like these little android robot things that go into your body and repair everything. You know what I'm saying? And they feed off your fat cells to do that. So, yeah. I mean, you can watch that video, check that out. I didn't record the entire video because I wasn't trying. Anybody that I've gotten a video from, if you guys could do me a huge favor, make sure that you go to their channels and subscribe and, like, you know, show them some love too. If you want to, you can tell them the JCG show sent you, but, you know, show them some love too, man. I mean, Casper Site's been trying to get to 1 million subscribers for I don't know how long. And if you guys go up in there and let him know that JCG Show helped him get the, you know, censure or whatever, and the people that come into this are able to get those people that are really close to the marker, but they just can't never make it for some reason. In my opinion, it's probably because they always do they do that part where I want to believe, or you know, they act like they're neutral. Well, I'm sorry, you know, you're either on this team or you're on this team. Because if you're in the middle, you're going to the bad guy's side, one way or the other. Because you chose to not lead your heart in any direction. And there is no such thing as doing that. You have to choose a side. You want to be good or you want to be evil. I mean, the evil people right now only have 3 strikes left. That's why the big government people right now are running around and, you know, somehow, some way, they're all just magically able to get along with each other. That's weird. When every single one of them talk about offing each other. That makes no sense. It's gotta mean something. And when I did my research, we got 3 strikes left. We got the locusts, we got the 3 days of darkness, and then we got the firstborn taken from everybody. So that's 3 strikes left. So I'm sure they're trying to figure out secretly how to make things good enough so that God will slow down these plagues. Oh, that by the way, everybody's been asking for God to show himself, right? Well, if you go through social media and you use a little bit of this and a little bit of this, how would you not think that the devil didn't go up to God and create a new tactic that wasn't used back then when Jesus was alive? I mean, we got all these cool toys now. They didn't have these cool toys back then. They didn't have social media that everybody flocks to like birds right now. You know what I'm saying? So how do you know the devil didn't go up there and say, "Hey, God, why don't you let me test their faith in the form of your this social media they built?" How do you mean, son? Well, you know how back in the day of Jesus, you blew your horn and all that good stuff? Yeah, let's do that in one place, and let's do it live on social media. I bet nobody's going to pay attention. I bet nobody's going to believe it's really happening. And so far, every single one of you's fell for the bait. But those of you that's watched this, no different now. So now you need to go do your research and go see how many plagues have already happened, because I'm sitting here telling you that we're just about done with the 7th plague. So, and those locust things have, I mean, that meteor thing that's on Casper's site, that's about that thing in Panama, that's got to be it. It's got to be some version of it, because The Simpsons just released that episode about that thing that's going to take everybody over or whatever. And I don't know if it's going to happen like that exactly, but it would, I guess it kind of makes sense. I mean, the way everything has been done has only been different in the sense of the tools that we have to use now. That's all I'm saying. The word has never changed. But I guarantee you that there's been a lot of the word taken out of this. Because some of these books I've read in here, it just don't make sense. It looks like something's missing. So maybe there is something to this Vatican lockup crap. I don't know. They won't let us go in there for some reason. And I'm sure if we tried to storm the door, they're going to try to burn it. But would they be able to actually destroy it? I mean, if they did that, then everybody should know the truth and know that the government's been against us from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So, I'm not telling you to go do that, but I'm just saying, if that happened, and they tried to burn everything in it to keep y'all from knowing the truth, then there's your answer. The government's been playing everybody from the start. But from what I found out and what I've told y'all, you should know that already. I mean, since when does all of the general government people like each other enough to go into a room together when they have hated each other's guts for the longest time, and China thinks they own everybody, and they've got this chip thing that they're trying to get all the other states to get involved with. Elon Musk developed this thing that goes on your head that is supposed to fix issues, but the main functionality of it, if you really think about it, it just turns emotions off that make you feel pain and stuff like that, and turns nervous system things back on or whatever. It does have good in it, but it seems like it's so easily going to be used for evil. I mean, I got friends that can hack satellites, bro. Like, I ain't giving you their names, but you know, they definitely, I seen one of them do it for sure. And it looked like some government crap, like green screen crap I ain't never seen in my life. The Eagle, passwords, like all kinds of CIA looking crap. So, like, if I wanted to learn that, all I gotta go do is pay him a visit. You know what I mean? But I don't need to learn all that. I mean, that's what they're for. That's why you have friends. The one thing I have also learned going through this life for the 33 years that I've been here is that you really will be able to count your friends on one hand. Literally. I've had so many friends stab me in the back, lie to my face, steal from me, you know, try to one-up me in a way that they get something that I was trying to get, and they knew I was trying to get it. Like, I don't know, a promotion or something. You know what I mean? And all of those experiences, you know, and the people that I've helped with this book, honestly, they fit right into the stories, which is crazy, but I don't know. I did all this research for y'all, so at the least you could do is try to share the info with everybody else. If it turns out to be BS, it turns out to be BS, but at least you're prepared. At least you were warned, right? Nah, if I play music, they're gonna copyright this video. So I'm sorry. I don't really know how to do all this stuff. I'm being dead honest with y'all. Like, I mean, I don't even know how to watch a video and make my face go up into the side screen like all these professional YouTubers are doing. Like, I did it one time a long, long, long time ago when I was playing video games or whatever, but I done forgot how to do that. I don't remember how I did it. Why do I care about anyone? Because Jesus told me to. That's why. Is that good enough for you? And why would you say something like that? Does that mean you don't care about anybody? I mean, that's wrong. You're telling me not to express my feelings. You're telling me to be one of those robots that they're trying to turn everybody into. If anything, you just showed everybody what your heart looks like, buddy. So, I'll pray for you and know that I love you no matter what. But I can't control what other people think. Nor is it my place to judge them. I had another person in another video ask me, what do I think about same-sex marriage? I was like, the only answer I can give you on that one is God made man and women for a reason, because that makes life. And through that life, it spreads throughout the earth. So all of this science and whatnot has made it to where it's a lot easier for those kind of couples to, apparently now we have little bubbles that you can, little pods or whatever, that you can have a baby made in. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't sound natural at all. And I believe that God has a way to use that for the better, but it just doesn't seem right. It's like people are trying to be God now, and we're not God. Like, the only abilities that we can access through Jesus is if you're seeing the world through the eyes of love and through the eyes of heaven. Anything else is just your fake science that, can explain some of the stuff that goes on, but most of the stuff in this world that we Christians call miracles, explain that. What you got on that, bro? What you got on that, sis? There's people that go in the hospitals every day with cancer and it just vanishes out of nowhere. What you got on that? Oh, it's a coincidence. Well, that coincidence has happened over 100,000 times. Doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. And cancer don't just vanish like that. You can fast and you can get rid of it, but it takes time. It takes time and it takes healing, if you do it the right way. But if you're destined to be blessed like that, science ain't explaining that. And I've seen tons of people's testimonies. Tons of them. Tons of them. And there ain't no way they're fake. No way. There's too much love in their eyes when they tell their story. It looks too genuine. And I know people are good at acting, but you can really tell when somebody's lying to you. You really, really can. If you look with the eyes of trying to feel who this person is that's telling you this story. But that's the problem with this world nowadays. Nobody cares enough about anybody to... What's it like to walk in that guy's shoes? Oh, I don't care. It don't matter. That's pretty much what you hear every day now. I've been calling out preachers left and right on YouTube. I've been having a blast. And ain't not one of them can touch me. Not one bit of witchcraft can touch me. I'm under divine protection for a reason. And when it's my time to go, God will say it's my time to go. But I'm going to do every bit of the work that He's got me down here to do. And that's plain and simple. I don't know why He waited till I'm 33 years old to wake me up like this. But I am so happy He did. I'll tell you that. So happy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I cannot complain. I cannot. Because now, after that happened, I know all of that from my past has purpose. And it makes perfect sense to me now why I went through all that stuff. Because now I can relate to just about anybody. Because I've been through sexual abuse. I've been homeless. I've been beaten. I've been actually, hold on. I've been beaten within an inch of my life. Like that saying on that movie Real Steel, where the kid's dad gets beat up within, but it's a little bit more than an inch of your life. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. All it does is make it to where I literally can relate to people a little bit better with problems and stuff. So, those of you that have issues, those of you that want to talk about something, I'm not going to lie to you, man. My phone number's legitimately on my YouTube. I'm a real servant for God. You want somebody to listen to your story and help you find healing for real? I care about you people. Give me a call. Let me know. Text me first, though. That way I know you're real and you ain't no scammer trying to, get in my stuff. All right? Text me first, and then I'll call you. And I'll be like, hey man, what's going on? Talk to me. I got all the time in the world for you, because guess what? I ain't got a job no more. I ain't got a life. I ain't got nothing no more. Everything was taken from me. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's for a reason. Because I've gone to all these churches in Panama City. One of them tells me, we don't do one-on-ones. What do you mean you don't do one-on-ones as a preacher? Are you kidding me? How do you not have a confession booth anymore? Where did that go? If you're the leader of the church and you're preaching the word, people are going to want to talk to you, because you understanding that word means that you're supposed to be able to relate to those people. Why do you have underlings to do that for you? A lot of these churches, too, like the Lighthouse, they got that place set up like a prison, man. You can't even go see your kids, man. You got to sign all this crap. You got to put your name in the system. I understand the safety and all that. But when they know that you're their father or their mother, and you got to have a piece of paper to get your kid back? Man, that don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense. And then, most of these churches are selling stuff like merch and all that stuff out of the churches. And last I checked, Jesus went through the churches and flipped the tables, because he didn't want his church to be a marketplace. If you're going to sell stuff out of your church, you need to do it through the internet. That way it's not being sold out of the holy grounds. That's why every single church in Panama City took damage, because they're all sinning. They're all messed up. They're all not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They all got a greedy way of thinking. But anyway, get going, guys. I love every single one of y'all. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I got 5% battery left on my phone. I've been talking to y'all for so long. Y'all have an absolutely blessed afternoon. I will be on at least once every day. It may be the same stuff that I'm preaching, but I can guarantee you, as much as I can, every day, if I can, I'm going to read the next part to the Action Bible. And like I said, y'all want somebody to talk to, My phone number's on my YouTube channel, man. It's in my description of my YouTube. The Cash App's on there. Y'all want to help me out? You know, the only thing that I really want in this world is an RV so I can get around and start, you know, traveling and exposing these churches worldwide if I have to. I'm not scared. I'll do it live with every single one of y'all watching. And I ain't doing it out of hate. I'm doing it out of love to teach them people that those leaders are leading to damnation, to set them free. That's what I'm doing. I don't care about ruining their image. I don't care about your image. And I don't care about your feelings that ain't got nothing to do with love. Plain and simple. Because that's how Jesus walked the earth. And guess what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to walk just like he did so I don't screw up. I'm not perfect. You ain't perfect. And if you think you're perfect, you might want to take a look in the mirror and start figuring things out a little bit more, because you ain't looking at the world through heaven's eyes. That's for sure. Me, myself, and I ain't how the world should be looking at each other at all. Nah. And yeah, I can recently, like when the Holy Spirit was like really in me, for some reason I went back to my Australian accent. I don't know how to explain that to y'all. I've always been able to do the Australian accent since I was a kid, and that's the main reason why my mom hates me. I was talking like that when I was over to her because it's fun. You know what I'm saying? I like to act like a kid now that I've been awakened, and it makes me feel good. So the Australian accent's a whole lot of fun. I don't know what to tell you, mates. All right? And people that hear it, they love it. So, yeah. But yeah, I can switch back and forth. I've always been able to. I'm not the best with any other accent, though. I mean, it's not. I've never had a blood test to tell me what I am or whatever. You know, I can't afford that stuff. And apparently, working at Walmart, when I used to work at Walmart, that meant that I made too much money to get food stamps or any of that stuff when I have 3 kids. I don't think that makes sense. I wasn't making nowhere near close to $60,000 a year. And I was on the list for Section 8 for like 8 years. They must have threw me out at some point and didn't care. But yeah, that's your government for you. So I don't know what to tell y'all. But yeah, I'm down to like 3%. I don't want my phone to die on y'all. So I love you so much. God bless every one of y'all. Let me go ahead and end this with a prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on this earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. In Jesus' mighty name, for the glory of the kingdom. Amen. Good night, y'all.